Welcome to Heroes United, Pantheon, where legendary heroes from Marvel, DC, Greek mythology, and beyond come together in epic battles, unexpected team-ups, and thrilling adventures. What happens when an unstoppable force meets a relentless, god-killing warrior? This is not just another clash of titans. It's a battle where the earth will quake, the skies will weep fire, and no one, not even the gods, will escape unscathed. But as you watch this legendary showdown unfold, one thing becomes clear. This fight might not go the way you think. The stakes have never been higher, not just for the combatants, but for anyone daring to imagine the outcome. So buckle up, because this is the kind of fight that reminds us why heroes are forged and why legends are born. And if you're rooting for Kratos, the Ghost of Sparta, brace yourself. Today, he faces an opponent who might just be beyond even his might. As the epic unfolds, do not forget to subscribe, like and drop a comment for more historic pantheons. A crimson tear split the sky over a desolate wasteland. From the rift emerged Juggernaut, his footsteps shaking the ground as if the world itself feared his presence. The earth groaned under the weight of his power, the very air trembling with the intensity of his arrival. A figure of monstrous size, clad in crimson armor that gleamed like the blood of gods. He was a being forged from pure destruction. The ground cracked beneath his boots as he slowly began to march forward, each step a harbinger of chaos, the sound like the roar of thunder echoing across the land. His eyes, burning with the ferocity of an untamed storm, scanned the horizon for his target. Summoned by the will of Sitarak to prove his might in a new realm, Juggernaut's task was simple: destroy anything and anyone that dared to stand in his way. His reputation was well known, his unstoppable charge legendary. He had crushed cities, shattered mountains, and left only ruin in his wake. This world, however, was different. Juggernaut's senses sharpened as he felt the presence of something powerful, something that would challenge him. A warrior unlike any he had faced before. Far below, in a forgotten temple, Kratos stood in quiet contemplation. The winds howled outside, carrying with them whispers of an impending storm. The Leviathan axe rested against his side, its edge gleaming with a cold fire. The blades of chaos were sheathed on his back, their chains rattling faintly, as if hungry for blood. Despite the stillness, Kratos could feel it, the unmistakable pressure of a presence unlike any he had encountered. His eyes narrowed, his grip tightening on his axe. He had fought gods, titans, and monsters, but this was something else entirely. This was a force that would test him like never before. The air shifted as Kratos took a step forward, his boots crunching against the broken stone floor. He could feel the ground tremble beneath his feet. A deep, guttural sound echoed through the temple as the earth seemed to split. The walls cracked, and ancient runes began to glow with an eerie light. Juggernaut had arrived. Kratos wasted no time. He charged toward the battlefield, his muscles coiled with the energy of a warrior who had slain gods. The skies darkened above him as he entered the open arena. He was no stranger to challenges of this magnitude, but even he could feel the weight of this battle. This was not a fight for glory. This was a fight for survival. Suddenly, the ground beneath Kratos trembled violently, and Juggernaut appeared, his massive form towering over the horizon. His face was hidden behind a crimson helmet, but his eyes blazed with the fury of 1,000 storms. He laughed, a deep, rumbling sound that reverberated through the very air. "So, this is a mighty warrior of this realm." Juggernaut sneered. "You are but a speck compared to the power I wield." Kratos' eyes locked onto Juggernaut, his grip tightening on his axe. The battle had begun. Without hesitation, Juggernaut charged. The ground split open as he hurled himself toward Kratos, a force of nature unstoppable in its momentum. Kratos had fought titans before, beings whose size dwarfed even this monstrous creature, but none had ever come with such pure, unbridled force. Juggernaut's fist swung in a wide arc, and Kratos barely managed to dodge, leaping into the air as a massive punch crashed into the earth, creating a shockwave that sent debris flying. Kratos landed gracefully, his eyes flashing with determination. He swung the Leviathan axe with all his might, the blade slicing through the air toward Juggernaut's helmet. The axe collided with the red armor with a deafening clang, but Juggernaut barely flinched. His armor absorbed the blow, and he grinned beneath his helmet, his eyes burning with arrogance. "Is that all you got, little god?" he mocked, raising a massive fist. Before Kratos could react, Juggernaut's hand shot out, grabbing him by the arm and lifting him off the ground with terrifying ease. The power in that grip was suffocating, the bones in Kratos' arm creaking under the strain. With a single motion, Juggernaut slammed Kratos into the ground, sending shockwaves through the earth. The force of the impact cracked the stone beneath Kratos' body, and for a moment, he felt his consciousness slip away. But Kratos was no stranger to pain. He roared in fury, his body surging with Spartan rage. Blood streamed from his wounds, but he would not be broken. He exploded from the ground, his fists glowing with divine fire as he unleashed a flurry of strikes upon Juggernaut. Each blow landed with the force of a god's wrath, the ground shaking beneath their battle. Juggernaut grunted with each hit, but his body seemed to absorb the punishment, his crimson armor unyielding. "You can hit me all you want, boy," Juggernaut growled. "It won't matter. Nothing stops me." Kratos gritted his teeth and leaped back, his breath ragged. He knew brute force would not be enough. He had to outthink this beast. The blades of chaos swung from his back, their fiery chains lighting up the darkness of the battlefield. He rushed toward Juggernaut, aiming to wrap the chains around his legs and slow him down. For a brief moment, Kratos thought he might have the upper hand. The chains wrapped around Juggernaut's legs, and Kratos pulled, hoping to bring the monster down. But Juggernaut flexed, and with a violent motion, the chains snapped like twigs. "Nice try," Juggernaut mocked, a twisted grin spreading across his face. "But you can't stop me." Kratos' heart pounded in his chest. He knew he had to act quickly, or this battle would be his last. With a mighty roar, he hurled the Leviathan axe toward Juggernaut, its enchanted blade cutting through the air. But Juggernaut barely flinched as the axe struck the earth beside him, embedding itself in the ground. Without missing a beat, Juggernaut charged once more, his momentum building like a freight train. Kratos summoned his remaining strength and created a barrier of pure magic, hoping to hold Juggernaut's unstoppable charge. The impact was catastrophic. The earth buckled beneath them, sending shockwaves through the landscape. The barrier crackled under Juggernaut's relentless assault, but it held for a moment. Then, with a deafening roar, Juggernaut shattered the barrier, his body continuing its relentless advance. Kratos was thrown back, his body crashing against the ground. He felt the weight of his failure bearing down on him. He had given everything, but it wasn't enough. Juggernaut loomed over him, his red armor glistening in the dim light of the battlefield. "You fought well," Juggernaut said, his voice surprisingly respectful. But nothing stops the Juggernaut. Kratos could barely move, blood pouring from his wounds. His vision blurred, but he would not give up. He had faced gods before, gods who were more powerful than this beast, but even they had fallen to his blade. He would rise again. He always did. Juggernaut turned and walked away, his footsteps echoing in the silence. The battle was over, but the war was not. Kratos dragged himself to his knees, blooded but defiant. The world had witnessed the unstoppable force of Juggernaut, but Kratos had not been broken. And though this battle had been lost, it would not be the end. In the distance, Juggernaut's roar faded into the night. The unstoppable force had triumphed, but Kratos would rise again. And when he did, there would be no force in the universe that could stop him. This was a battle of gods, but it was far from over. The relentless warrior would never stop fighting.